Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Monday again. It is Monday, August the 17th. We're here to look at the new releases in Cozy Mysteries published this week. Hope you had a good weekend. Stayed cool and read good books. Rested. Let's see. I'm going to say this for every show this week. I don't have any sprints on this Saturday only. Our next sprints are tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. All regularly scheduled shows are regularly scheduled, except for this Saturday. Let's jump into the new releases. First up, excuse me. Yeah, Keo gives a big yawn. Murder by Degrees by Rachel Ford, fourth in Meredith and Alec Thatch mystery. Frederick Priest is a man shrouded in mystery. What Alec knows of his role for king and country during the Great War is limited, but she knows enough. Somewhere along the way, Frederick made a powerful enemy, an enemy willing to kill a lot of men to get to him. Meanwhile, a distant cousin of Mary's has hired a private investigator in an effort to overturn her inheritance, and strange rumors are spreading through town about the new arrival to the hospital. Alec and Mary are fighting for more than a good friend's life. They're fighting for their own. Pickle Predicament by Leanne Dobbs, 18th in the Lexi Baker Cozy Mystery Series. Eugenia Pruitt spent 40 years telling Brooke Ridge Falls that pickle brine was a secret to perfect health. Then she drowned in it. The night before she was to crown a new pickle queen and hand over her legendary secret recipe, Eugenia is found floating in her own vat, the barn locked from the inside. The police call it a sad accident. Lexi Baker's grandmother and her ladies' detective club know better. Soon the ladies are neck-deep in suspects, a freeloading nephew, a proudly second-best rival, a poison pen letter writer with a flair for doom, corporate sharks from Big Pickle, and the Pickle Syndicate. All of them had a reason to want Eugenia dead. Add one 3-foot pickle cake nobody's allowed to eat, and the ladies have a lot on their plates. I don't think I'd want to eat a pickle cake. I like the herb dill, but I think I would draw the line at a pickle cake. A Baker's Secret by Elsie Gray, 14th in the Good Chef Mysteries. Apologize. The frog is back in my throat, and there's smoke in the air. Every baker has one secret worth protecting. Edith Brown's may be worth killing for. When former NYPD homicide detective turned restaurant owner Lily Good agrees to judge Pine Grove's summer pie contest, she expects friendly rivalry, flaky crusts, and more Marionberry filling than she can eat. Instead, reigning champion Edith Brown claims the trophy with her family's treasured recipe and is found murdered shortly afterward. Then Lily discovers a page has been torn from Edith's recipe notebook. Suddenly, the contest's sweetest entry is at the center of a bitter mystery. A furious rival baked a pie that tasted almost identical. A resentful relative believes the family bakery should have been hers, and a mysterious former apprentice seems to have vanished without a trace. Between busy meals at the Good Chef and quiet moments with the family and friends who make Pine Grove home, Lily must use a detective's instincts and a chef's discerning palate to uncover what was stolen and what Edith was trying so desperately to protect. Because in Pine Grove, some secrets are passed down with love. Others are dangerous enough to kill for. Well, the lesson here is don't win contests. Come in second. Scruffy Strays and Skullduggery by Leanne Leeds, 14th in the Silver Circle Cat Rescue Mysteries. Summer has Table Rock, Texas in a stranglehold, with triple-digit heat baking Wildbridge County and Silver Circle Cat Rescue's air conditioning wheezing its last. Ellie Rock Rogers has her hands full managing a recently discovered feral colony on the outskirts of town. A scrappy band of strays led by Scruffy, a thick-cheeked tomcat who trusts humans about as far as she can spit a hairball. But when Hank Dawson, Table Rock's legendary pitmaster and owner of Dawson's Low and Slow Barbecue, is found dead beside his prize smoker the morning of the town's annual Smoke, Sizzle, and Sweat barbecue cook-off, the colony's territory becomes the center of a murder investigation. Scruffy knows more than he's letting on, but getting a feral tom to talk, even with the help of Silver Circle's crystal collars, is like pulling bark off a live oak. Yes, they talk. As Ellie and the gang dig into the smoky underbelly of Table Rock's fiercely competitive barbecue scene, they discover that rivalries over rubs and recipes can cut deeper than a brisket knife, and someone's willing to kill to keep their secrets off the menu. Can Ellie earn Scruffy's trust and crack the case before the truth goes up in smoke? End of that row. And she's a little too perky. Circus Animal Cookie Catastrophe by Addison Moore, 57th in the Murder in the Mix series. When Sterling and Sons Circus rolls into Honey Hollow for a week of performances and a charity benefit, I'm thrilled to showcase my animal cracker cookies at the fairgrounds. But the circus isn't the only excitement in town. Everett's 13-year-old twin daughters are staying with us for the week. Entertaining teenagers for 7 whole days? I've got this. With twin babies in a stroller, a sugar-crazed 2-year-old, and 2 eye-rolling teens in tow, what could possibly go wrong at a wholesome family circus? Of course, when someone ends up dead backstage with a knife in their chest and one of my cookies in their hand, I realize the greatest show on earth just became the deadliest. Between jilted lovers, blackmail victims, and enough secrets to fill a circus tent, half the performers had motive to commit murder. But what in the world does Suze Fox have to do with this? Well, it turns out everything. But when the investigation reveals this case has more twists than acrobat's routine, I know I'm dealing with a killer who's been hiding behind sequins and spotlights. With my rolling pin in one hand and my detective skills in the other, plus a pint-sized pachyderm with a serious peanut addiction, and enough suspects in spandex to staff a Vegas show, I'll need to solve this case before the killer decides I'm the next act to disappear. Well, you could leave it to the authorities. Oh, but they were holding an animal cracker cookie in their hand, which means I'm involved now. Yes, we get it. Oops. Haunted Palette by Connie Shelton, 2nd in the Ghost in the Library series. Christmas is coming to New Mexico, and Taos librarian Emily Pankhurst expects a season filled with holiday cheer, not murder and mystery. While shopping for gifts, Emily discovers a stunning painting that may be the work of the famed artist Nikolai Fechin. But when she learns the artwork surfaced through a seance at the historic Mabel Dodge Lujan house, her skepticism is stirred. With the help of visiting art expert Miles Grantham, Emily begins investigating the painting's origins and soon uncovers a web of forged artwork, hidden agendas, and dangerous secrets. When a private investigator connected to the case dies under suspicious circumstances, Emily realizes someone will do anything to keep the truth buried. As threats close in on her family's beloved library, she must unravel the mystery before another victim falls. Filled with holiday atmosphere, art world intrigue, and a touch of supernatural, this cozy mystery is perfect for readers who enjoy clever sleuths, small town settings, and Christmas suspense. A Most Royal Murder by Lynn Knightley, 3rd in the Copenhagen Cozy Mysteries. A historian falls to his death from the upper catwalks of Copenhagen's Royal Library, and someone inside the archives knows it wasn't an accident. When Clara Whitmore receives an invitation to an exclusive evening at the Royal Library, she expects rare manuscripts, elegant scholars, and quiet conversation beneath the glow of Copenhagen's harbor lights. Instead, she finds herself caught in a deadly mystery hidden deep within the library's restricted collections. As Clara investigates, she uncovers a world of altered records, missing archives, and people determined to protect history at any cost. Because inside this library, some stories were never meant to survive. A Select Murder by Keith Finney, fifth in the Rex and the Dowager series. June 1923. The Dowager Duchess of Drakeford has gathered 8 guests for her annual treasure hunt in aid of her London charity for destitute children. The clues are prepared, the house is full, and the weekend promises rivalry, refinement, and a little harmless competition. By Saturday morning, Sir William Walker Folkes is dead. The local doctor calls it natural causes, helped along by brandy and bad habits. H.G. is not convinced, and when his verdict is overturned, Detective Inspector Whipple finds himself with a murder investigation instead of a peaceful weekend's fishing. Nearly everyone under the Thorpe Manor roof had a reason to want Sir Henry gone. Rex watches the guests. Whipple follows the evidence. H.G. reads the silences. No one else notices. At Thorpe Manor, good manners may be the greatest disguise of all. End of that row. Ah, whoa, we've got like a whole chapter of description here. Bored to Death by J.C. Eaton, fifth in the Charcuterie Shop Mysteries. Charcuterie chef Katie Aubrey is all agog, having been selected to cater a spectacular dining experience at the Pinnacle, a prestigious 5-star senior residence. With 20 distinct charcuterie boards for the individual residents, Katie is certain this event will give her the publicity she needs to move up in the culinary world, but things don't go as planned. A number of loose cattle block Cave Creek Road, and the word sabotage is on everyone's lips. To make matters worse, Edith Elroy, former food critic and intolerable ghost, who occupies Katie's residence, creates additional havoc at Katie's Charboard restaurant. Still, Katie and her crew manage to have everything in order for the event, but just as they think all will go well, she and one of her employees discover the lifeless body of the Pinnacle's manager under a date palm tree at the residence. The situation turns dicey when the pocket knife belonging to Katie's sous chef, who was creating the charcuterie at the Pinnacle, is found at the murder scene. Fearing that he will be arrested based on circumstantial evidence, Katie has no choice but to do some sleuthing on her own. Unfortunately, Edith decides to take part as well. Katie finds a way into the victim's room to see what information may be on her computer, but before she can investigate, another resident walks in and tells Katie that she believes she knows who the murderer is. To get to the bottom of it, the woman holds a dinner in her suite and invites Katie to join a few trusted residents who want the murder solved ASAP. I'm sorry, it goes on and on, revealing all kinds of plot things. How about letting us read it? Oy. Yes, the snark is strong today. Quilt City by Bruce Leonard, sixth in the Hadley Carroll Mysteries. The world of journalist Quilter and the mayor of Paducah, Hadley Carroll, unravels when a danger that has been neutralized reemerges, disrupting the peace in Paducah and threatening Hadley's life. Alexander Blevins, the Spur Award-winning author of Arkansas Black and Bycatch, said the following about Quit City payment. That's it. And then it's blurbage. Okay, the other one had too much. This one had maybe too little. Uh, why do they torment us this way? Good morning, Rebecca. I was able to catch you live this beautiful morning. Lovely 69 here in Minnesota. Well, hello. Good morning. Yes, we like cooler temperatures. I agree. Wuthering Spite by Nova Walsh, first in the Bertie and Joan mysteries. Bertie Hirsch came back to Spoonbill Bay for a fresh start. Recently divorced and ready to build a life that finally belongs to her, Bertie has her eye on a charming little coastal storefront and a dream she's carried for years, opening a bookshop filled with second-hand treasures, salty breezes, local gossip, and the kind of quirky regulars only a small Texas beach town can provide. Unfortunately, Joan Burns is back in town too. For decades, Bertie and Joan spent summers in neighboring beach houses, perfecting the art of driving each other crazy. Joan is opinionated, impossible, and far too pleased with herself, with a talent for getting under Bertie's skin before either of them has finished a cup of coffee. Now they're both divorced, both starting over, and somehow once again stuck next door to each other. Then a dead body turns up in the sand. Suddenly, Spoonbill Bay doesn't feel quite so peaceful. Joan may know more than she's saying. Bertie's new chapters looking more dangerous by the minute, and the murder investigation she absolutely did not ask for is getting harder to ignore. Even worse, Joan might be the only person stubborn enough, nosy enough, and shameless enough to help her solve it. Copper Kettles and Cursed Kitchens by Tessa Silver. 15th in the Quillhaven Magical Cozy Mysteries. A mysterious crate addressed to the keeper of Honeybell Market delivers a treasure trove of antique kitchenware to Hazel Honeybell's door. The copper pots, wooden spoons, and handwritten recipe book are beautiful, valuable, and steeped in dangerous magic. When Hazel cooks with the tools, her customers are overwhelmed by memories and emotions that aren't their own. Laughter turns uncontrollable, grief becomes unbearable. Soon several people are hospitalized with hallucinations, and Honeybell Market is forced to close. With some serious sleuthing, Hazel discovers that the cursed tools once belonged to her great-aunt Rose, the forgotten owner of a cafe that stood on the same ground a century ago. With help from Quillhaven's favorite witch, Annie Hart, two opinionated Siamese cats, and a charming antiques expert whose magic may unlock the past, Hazel must uncover who cursed Rose's kitchen and why. But breaking the spell will require more than magic. It will demand truth, forgiveness, and courage to reclaim a story someone tried to erase. In Quillhaven, some recipes should stay buried. Yes, talking cats. End of that row. Why not just create two more characters if you need to have two more characters speaking? Get off my lawn. Ah. Murder on Charity Lane by Joe Nichols. Looks like this is second in the Marigold Cottage murders. Let's double check this date. It says this book is not available to purchase in our country. Well, then why was it being shown to me? Well, then let's not look at it. A Tale of Cakes and Murder by Lucy Emblem. 5th in the Charity and Muffin Cozy English Mysteries. The first ever Malvern View Village Baking Competition is supposed to be a friendly event filled with Victoria sponges, jam tarts, and neighborly cheer. Have you not read Cozy Mysteries? Instead, it's a recipe for disaster. The residents are determined to impress the famous television baker who has agreed to visit their special bake-off type event. As rival bakers compete for attention, tempers fray, accusations fly, the celebrity judge becomes increasingly unpredictable, someone's cake acquires tiny paw prints, and more than one contestant seems prepared to bend the rules in pursuit of victory. The worst thing there? The tiny paw prints. But the competition takes a deadly turn when a body is discovered, and Charity Cleveland finds herself investigating yet another murder. With suspects everywhere she turns, secrets bubbling to the surface, and Muffin proving once again that a clever dog can be worth her weight in marzipan, Charity must separate the innocent mistakes from the truly deadly ones before the killer strikes again. Let's do one more. Evil in a Bottle by Lillian J. Walker, 12th in the Victoria Cross Mysteries. Victoria Cross and the Council prepare for impending vampire war while dealing with a dangerous cursed relic. After finding some of the missing relics from the old barn, Vicky and Ethan realize what affected a man to commit multiple murders. A bottle with a mysterious inhabitant broke, releasing all the evil trapped inside. As Ethan's and Vicky's lives change, an old acquaintance returns to be part of their lives forever. Strangers can become the most faithful allies, while those who are thought to be trusted friends can betray the council. All right, everybody, remember we ended on evil in a bottle, because the bell is about to ring. All righty, that is it for today. On Wednesday, we'll look at the crime fiction and thrillers. At this point, there's not a whole lot, so we'll probably look at some more of the cozies. I don't have any sprints tonight. Our next sprints are tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We do every Tuesday and Thursday, and reminder for this one time only, there will not be a Saturday sprint, because Steve and I are going to an air show. Blue Angels are actually already here, I have seen. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a good Monday. Have a good week. Be safe. Be cool. Read books you want to read, and it's okay to set them down if it's not the right time. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.